Oh, hello there. You just joined me during breakfast. What a surprise. Just come around whenever you want. No problem. The other day, I read an interesting headline. While you're here, drinking my milk. The AI bubble is the only thing keeping the US economy together, Deutsche Bank warns. With the subline, when the bubble bursts, reality will hit far harder than anyone expects. I read it and thought, but then I thought, anyone? I'm an anyone. This better not affect me. Because then I will care.
Is that all there is?
Clicking the link in TechSpot in order to find the full client note led me to Fortune, which led me to Fortune, which led me to Bain, then a Google search brought up Apollo, back to Fortune, back to Bain. Wait, was it TechSpot or TechRadar or TechBox Crunch? Why do all these websites exist? They're all the same. Why do I exist? Then a more direct search got me to Deutsche Bank, where if I clicked on any of the thumbnails, the page refreshed and randomized the thumbnail orders and opened nothing. Then I got onto Georg Saravelos' page on Deutsche Bank's site. So I kept looking for direct quotes, but I knew I wasn't going to find anything when second page results included the single word chubby. In fact, this chubby guy kept on coming up. Seems to me that chubby, when it comes to fintech analysis, is pretty clued up. So I kept going a bit more into the recesses of Deutsche Bank's unloved website, clearly just a charade of a website that exists purely because they know it would be weird not to have a website, but also that no real person would ever want to engage with their website, no matter how good of a website said website. And I can now conclude I don't even know if Georg Saravelos or the client note even exist. Here he is on Bloomberg, but does Bloomberg even exist? I'm inclined to think that this quote is real, but I don't want to bring the Middle East into this. But I have to question why I can't find a scan of the actual note and the accreditation is circular. I mean, I know it's because journalism is shit. But it all is, isn't it? And yes, no, yes, there's a lot of chatter online right now when I made this soon-to-be-aged video about the AI bubble bursting. The skinny is that without investment in AI infrastructure, the US economy would be, could be, will be teetering, skipping, or maybe even pole vaulting into recession, as AI companies continue to receive colossal investments from all across the financial scumguard. OpenAI is now worth $500 billion, despite an operating loss of $7.8 billion and a cash burn of $2.5 billion in the first half of 2025, against revenues of $4.3 billion. And while its revenue is growing, its losses are growing faster. Behind them is Anthropic, a private company, which is set to lose $3 billion this year, less than they ever have, and while they might be closer to meeting the all-important actually make some fucking money rule that underpins the entire existence of present-day mankind, they're not growing as fast as OpenAI. At the same time, Deutsche Bank notes, in a report I actually could find, written by people other than the elusive Saravello, master of financial mysticism, the AI bubble's bubble has popped, i.e., people are not only necessarily over AI, some aren't, but some are, but they're overhearing about the AI bubble, making this one of my most topical videos. Importantly, although this particular report is a bit more optimistic than the reported report of Saravelos, it does mention that this doesn't mean that there isn't an AI bubble and it won't pop. They point out that Bloomberg started calling the .com craze a serious bubble 16 months before it popped.
Now that I've gotten on the internet, I'd rather be on my computer than doing just about anything.
Using somewhat couched language, this report, and by the way, Deutsche, could you not have just had another line break here? A title at the very bottom of the page. Who does that? The report says, evidence is still emerging where the dollars and cents values will come. FinCorp lingo for, yes, but beyond coding, how does your meme generator make money? We bank, we money. Or even more boiled down, we haven't seen solid evidence this will make money. That's what we want. Also, the report mentions the Gartner hype cycle of innovation, inflated expectations, disillusionment, enlightenment, and finally new productivity, and baselessly speculates that early humans probably had the same reaction to the wheel. The logic of that bit I briefly want to go on about, like a lunatic, if you will. And you will, won't you, Will? Surely the wheel was not invented by a single person. Surely even it wasn't invented at all. Did someone invent doors, or do humans just inherently know that a piece of wood can block out the wind? People made wheels when they needed wheels, probably just logs first, that's what I'd guess, in a way where I seriously doubt anyone thought of it as an invention. Like not crapping next to where you eat wasn't hailed as a great social innovation. But I do enjoy the idea of Urgelbar going over to Korkor's cave and being like, is that it? Is that your pitiful invention? I thought you said it was going to be round. You've not even put an axle on it, Korkor, you fucking dipshit. All you got there is a fucking irregular circle. Now lend me a Game Boy. So that annoyed me. But, on the other hand, they did quote Shania Twain, which is very cool.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Especially the general feeling from the respectable pant-wearing human zone is, this better work because it doesn't look like it's working yet, but we have no other ideas so we'll let you keep your knees for now. In respect to kicking the can of production limits down the road. It's not like I'm saying that AI isn't useful. It is and will be useful, but the internet was and is very useful, and the dot-com bubble was still a thing. Yeah, it's a bubble. There's always a bubble, and they often seem to revolve around the idea that whatever product is bubbling will somehow set people free. The internet will set you free. Biotech will set you free. Crypto will set you free. AI will blah 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 blah. Before you know it, you'll be working a 3-day week, and that's when the existential questions will really eat in. AI will increase productivity in places. When has that ever meant less work? If your productivity increases by 300%, you know your workload will be pushed 400%. Because if it isn't, someone else will put up their workload and outgun you. That's how this whole thing fucking works. Productivity has gone up for decades, and the Jetsons, we fucking ain't. AI, which these impressive but oversold models are not, reminds me of the sci-fi misnomer of infinite energy setting you free. All the energy in the universe cannot make potash or oil or land suitable for industrial agriculture, and the best AI in the world is not going to fix siding to houses or pull people's teeth. Maybe it will really help transform the digital world. Well, good. But there are limits. Haha. The AI bubble is interesting to me not because it's a bubble. Human existence is a fucking bubble. It's the desperation. What do you do when you can't grow out? You try to grow up. And I have a biased feeling that this signifies a sickly acceptance that our grip on sustained growth is ever more tenuous, and that the next bubbles will surely be hyped with the same set you free glee, but will in fact be quite a bit dark. Buy your water speculation certificates, it'll set you free. As we sell shares for water like we're Max Bialystock.
If you think about the economic value being created by these people, and how much we're all spending on compute, maybe the market stays like this. I'm not totally sure what's gonna happen.
Every time I've searched for how AI is actually productive, the same answers come up. Some coding tasks, not all. Data entry, data analysis, auto spreadsheet, data topping, data bottoming, data and Geordie, data solo. Polish slides for your presentation quickly, you shit. Get answers you can't trust, slightly faster than an enshittified Google. I can totally see AI being useful for those things. How much of the economy actually is just those things? I know it's a lot, but how fucking much, really? Finally, efforts to branch out of AI do data good have, I would argue, not been very successful. There's this example of a new AI actress trying to get representation somehow, like the idea of it getting the same wage as a real person doesn't entirely undercut the point of AI. Like, yeah, we were going to do a Toy Story TV series, but Buzz Lightyear wants a 4% cut. Like, oh what, I'm going to film a scene with real actors, but then have someone in a green man suit that will digitize this actor in? Like, what? That's what actors need for better performances, to not know what they're looking at even more. It's tried and true. Tried and true. What are people saying about this? Tilly Norwood doesn't need a hairstylist, has no regrettable posts, and if you wish to see a virgin on screen, this is one of your better chances. That's because she's AI. What the fuck is this? Tilly Norwood is the actress I most want to see on the big screen, or perhaps the little screen, if she gets her own TV show. She is beautiful, but not too intimidating. She has a natural smile, and is just the right amount of British. Jesus Christ. Well, that's a fucking turn off. A touch exotic, Britain being very exotic, but still familiar with her posh accent. Her Instagram has immaculate standards of presentation. While I was going through it, looking for fodder, I didn't see a single hint of a boyfriend. What fucking cretin wrote this? It must be someone who's a complete moron, an absolute basement to a... Oh. Tyler Cohen is Holbert L. Harris Chair of Economics at George Mason University. He has a PhD in economics. This is like something I'd have written when I was 20 under the name Damien's blog about how I'm so sexually frustrated per se. Penelope Cruz, I'd be her toilet, writes Damien. My name's Damien Benedict, and I'm a sick fuck. See my CV enclosed. Jesus Christ, it is real. Sorry to bring the Middle East up again. Professor Tyler Cowen, seen here in this 15-year-old picture, wants to see more virgins in movies. Tyler. What the fuck? These are our economists, vast minds, best and brightest, horny. Do you see now why the world will burn? But hell, maybe we'll get lucky. Not with AI setting us free so that we can live lives of luxury on digital clouds, getting blowjobs from robots that can't leave us. But maybe it'll actually shake things up. You know, when the bubble bursts, reality will hit far harder than anyone expects. Well, I have a pretty vivid imagination. 8 billion person deathmatch, where the primary munition and armor is babies. Oh, I'd have died just then when I got machine gunned with a 1200 baby per minute heavy machine gun, but luckily I was wearing my baby. On the bad side, I'm going to need a new baby. Is it going to be worse than that? Is it going to be worse than a dude calling himself Hannibal Holocaust, controlling the eastern seaboard, and he's the more interesting alternative because everywhere else, $7 an egg. Disney dollars too. They're worth 50 to 1. On the, to the dollars. I'm going to go now, or rather, someone is. Let me walk you out. And then I will lock the door, and then I will walk around the block, and I will come back, and I will close the curtains. See you next time.